Welcome to Service About Rugby League. Today on the agenda we're going to be talking about Jackson Hastings and where he's going to end up next season. Now at the moment he's kind of left everybody in limbo. He's put out a tweet last week saying, "I've currently signed no contracts anywhere beyond this year. I know the media have a job to do, but I'm not even close to making a decision. Focused on doing my job for my teammates and my club this season. Cheers." Now, I come to you on this first, Sean, because Wigan tried to sign him before the start of the season. He decided to stay at Salford, but only signed a 1-year deal to obviously keep his options open. Now, where does he go after this season? Because I think it's become obvious that he's improved Salford, he's made them a better team, but they're probably not going to challenge for silverware now out of the Challenge Cup, round mid-table in Super League. He's probably not going to win things there. So, will Wigan come back in for him, or is he holding out for the NRL?
I think that's the big question, isn't it? I think 23 years old, he's obviously got a long career ahead of him. He's got a lot of time, and I feel like he made the sensible choice for him. It could have come to Wigan. He would have been a fan favourite at Wigan, and there's no doubt he would have got the crowd going, sort of thing. Wigan ended up with Jared Samet, who has surprised all realistically. It was unfortunate to get injured, but came in, surprised all, played really well, and Wigan's sort of like little revival when we won a couple of matches, the Leeds match and then into Salford and our first away day at Salford. Samet was a massive part of those wins and unfortunately got injured, and Wigan sort of took a step back again and lost a couple of games back to back. I think Wigan will be looking for that half. Obviously George Williams has got a lot of rumour. It seems like it's pretty much a done deal, even though neither club's announced it officially, which means that Wigan will be not only in the hunt for a halfback but in the hunt for a marquee player to replace Williams, and maybe Hastings fits that bill. At the minute there's no offers from, or seemingly no offers from anywhere else. The problem was last year Wigan wanted him for 2 years and Hastings seemed set on a 1-year contract, maybe looking to get back into the NRL. The deal couldn't be agreed, so Hastings rejected Wigan and stayed at Salford, which, like I said, I think for his personal growth was probably the right decision, but I feel like it's the time for him to step up. He needs to start winning silverware, and I think Wigan might be a good fit for him.
Yeah, well, what's your take on this, Ethan? Because it does appear that he might be holding out for the NRL, but there's been no murmurs or any rumours that he will get an offer from an NRL club. I've not seen anybody mentioned as yet. The only team that I keep seeing mentioned is Wigan now. I think Salford will obviously want to keep him. I think most teams in Super League would have him.
Yeah.
But in his situation now, if you were Jackson Hastings, what would you be doing?
I'd be looking at potentially tying myself down to Salford if I was Jackson Hastings. He's got on well at the club there with the community as well, helping kids, etc. Obviously made his debut against Leeds last season. I think there was a start one point at the end of the 2018 season where every game that Hastings had played in, Salford had won. So that just shows what catalyst he is to that club. And I think he gels well with Salford's philosophy and what Ian Watson wants to play going forward. And I think Salford need to tie him down.
But does that match his ambitions? Because surely if he's going to stay over here, he's probably a second choice for him because he'll probably want to be playing in the NRL. So if he is over here, surely he'd want to be over here winning trophies. Is he going to do that with Salford?
Realistically, no, but I think moving to Wigan would definitely be a good choice for Wigan because, as you said, losing Williams at the end of the year perhaps and bringing in Samet last year, I think Wigan would develop him further. I think it would be a good choice. Obviously, he wants to sign 1-year contract, which is a good choice because then if he doesn't have a positive year at club, he's not trying to fight his way back into the squad, so to speak, if he does fall out of favour. And I think he does match what Wigan's about, which is attacking rugby league, but also mixed with a bit of defence as well. And I think going forward, he would do a good job at Wigan and bring in new life to that squad. Because obviously Samet's ageing, whereas at 23, Hastings is facing his prime.
I think they would work well together. I think the big thing that Samet did well at the start of the season was sort of control the game. Williams was at a point where it wasn't playing as well. He's come into form a little bit in the last couple of weeks, but Williams was struggling at the early parts of the season, and having that creative player is so important. And you've seen it at Salford, having that Hastings-Louis partnership, Louis being able to just like control it, but the odd sparks, but then Hastings just floors the game on his own, can come out the back, can lead the line. He's that kind of player, and maybe that's something we can have add since Trent Barrett, which is another sort of issue. Obviously, we're going to win a lot of trophies since Trent Barrett, but that just standout halfback that can win you games on his own, and maybe that's what Wigan. Well, it's what Wigan fans want. Wigan's last massive signing is hard to recall, really, because it's been a lot of internal growth, and a lot of the big names that you associate with Wigan in the last 10 years have been Wigan born or come through the Wigan Academy at least. So Wigan fans are sort of holding out for that. I think Wigan fans wanted it at the end of this season. Losing Bateman, Tompkins and Sutton, Wigan fans wanted a big signing coming in, and they couldn't get Hastings over the line, which meant that we had to go and get Samet, which turned out to be a good signing in the end. Mitch Clark is obviously also linked with Wigan, which would be another massive signing for Wigan. But it seems like Adrian Lamb's put his foot down now and said, right, along with Chris Wadlinski, we've said, obviously some big names on the free transfer list like Dan Sargentson. Losing wages like that is going to allow Wigan to do something that they've not done a lot in the past, which is let go of some of the younger talent and bring in some big names and try and mix that into a youthful squad. And with the likes of, obviously Samet would only have one more year with Hastings, but if Hastings was to come, but then you've got the likes of Harry Smith coming through, who looks like the next big thing for Wigan, coming from their academy. So maybe if you can get him for 2 years, I think Wigan will take him. If they can get him for one, I don't know if he'll come. That's the big thing for Wigan, because I don't think Wigan will want to sign him for a season.
Well, I've got it written down here. I mean, he doesn't actually strike me. I mean, I don't know him personally, but he doesn't strike me as somebody who's like massively obsessed by the money. He always has a love for Salford. He loves that club, like you touched on, and he's part of the community there now. So, would there be like a part of him that will only move to an NRL club? Surely he won't want to move to another Super League club because he's built up such an affinity there with Salford.
That's true, but he also, I mean, if you follow him on Twitter, he also strikes you. He just loves the bloke loves rugby league, doesn't he? So I wouldn't say that it's his love for Salford that's keeping him there. I feel like he felt like it owed Salford something after they sort of saved him at the end of last season. And he's sort of repaying the debt, almost, and he seems like that honourable kind of lad that wants to just do the right thing for himself and for the people around him. And I feel like Salford fans and the Salford club wouldn't be upset if he decided to move on further now, because obviously for him to end up back where he wants to be by the age of 26, 27, if he wants to be playing in a starting role in the NRL, he has to win stuff over here to catch the eye. Realistically, very rarely do you see people go over to the NRL from clubs lower in the table that are really struggling and make a name. Josh Hudson's obviously the massive exception, but you tend to see players that are playing for clubs at the top, like the Burgesses when Bradford were at the top, and Tompkins when Wigan were at the top, Bateman, and that they're the ones that go over and make a big impact. You don't tend to see it when there's standout players from lower teams, and maybe that's something that's on his mind as well, going out there and winning trophies and trying to make a name for yourself that way.
I think perhaps the best kind of comparison we can give to this, albeit slightly different, is Ben Barber. Now he came over here to let's be honest, to earn himself a deal back in the NRL when he was allowed back in, and he's smashed it for St Helens, albeit not won a major trophy, won the Leaders' Shield, but then won Man of Steel, and then NRL clubs have watched that, took notice. Our Super League's best player. Now, is he more likely to excel at Wigan and do a similar thing to Ben Barber and earn a mega deal back in the NRL?
Yeah, I think he could do, and I think possibly his former teams, Manly and Sydney, could perhaps be on the radar for him. But obviously he did have kind of a bad rep over there as being a naughty boy, so to speak, but I think maybe a lower league NRL team could be in there, like Wests. Maybe even Brisbane as well could be bidding for him. But I think if he plays well and gets that move to Wigan, I think, and move to the NRL could be a possibility for him.
Yeah, well, Jackson Hastings, we wonder where he's going to end up. He, like I say, he's out of contract at the end of the season. Should he go to Wigan? Should he stay at Salford? Where is he most likely to get better, improve and earn a deal back in the NRL? Let us know in the comments.